I'm always fascinated by, you know, I grew up, I'm an engineer.
Is it okay if we record the conversation?
Yeah, definitely. So
I'm an engineer as well.
okay, so we can relate. And then, so I grew up Porsche guy, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, you know, they're slower. The engine's in the rear where it's not supposed to be. They kind of look like they derive from a Beetle, but I love it.
Yeah.
And like I can't. Like I have no desire, I don't understand this. Just like I'm guessing you probably look at this freaking Beetle that I'm driving around. So how do you end up in Huracan? How does that work?
So for me, it was grew up loving the brand Lamborghini. Probably my first favorite supercar was probably Ferrari, like a Testarossa.
So when were you born? How old?
I'm born in '73. I'm 44.
Okay, so you're 7 years old. Okay, so you had like Countach on the wall.
Yeah.
See, I was a little bit younger, so I don't know. I never got that. Even though that was what early '80s, early to mid '80s. So I was a little bit young.
Yeah.
So did you have like a Countach on the wall?
I did, and I used to kind of obsess over supercars. First it was Ferrari, then the Lamborghinis had a meaner look to them. So I just fell in love with it. I always liked Porsches as well, and actually, but I never drove a Porsche, never sat in a Porsche, never experienced a Porsche until I went to the Atlanta driving school Porsche experience.
The new place,
And then I'm a Porsche fan after that. I got to drive the GT4 and a 911. It wasn't a Turbo S, but it was one of the base 911.
Okay, like a Carrera, Carrera 4S.
I think it was Carrera, And man, I'm a fan after that. Like I love that GT4. I had a Corvette. I've had Mustangs and all that good stuff. And that GT4, man, was top 3 cars I've ever driven.
So that's the driving experience is different. You know, they have such presence, right? You show up,
and that's what
kids are like asking you to take pictures. I'm telling you, I have a blue GT3 that I just traded for my RS. I'd drive around town and anonymous, like no one even looks twice. Now I also live in a retiree community. But,
what part of Florida are you in?
It's called the Villages.
Okay.
It's the biggest retirement community in the world. So
it's
me and
which city?
Just north of Orlando.
Okay.
So Ocala, Orlando, I live like right here.
Okay.
Right in between.
I love Florida.
Farm country.
Okay.
So I have like 6 acres, and I have my garage. I have a dedicated wash bay where I wash cars and stuff.
What kind of engineer?
Electrical.
Okay. Yeah, I started out electrical engineering in college, and it was for me, what they were teaching was too much theory. I needed to get hands-on, and I switched to computer science, where we would start writing code and stuff like that. And so I ended up being a software engineer.
Okay. So then, how do you end up with this problem? How does that happen?
Great question. And that's why I started the channel.
Yeah. So I figured. So how does that? What's that story?
So the quick story is, came out, did software engineering, corporate world, and learned how to do software engineering for the internet. And I was like, I want to start my own company. And at first I thought I would be like everybody else and do websites for people.
Right.
But then I was like, nah, it's not really the way to go because it's going to get too competitive. So let me do my own website. So I started a social network before Facebook, before LinkedIn, before any of that.
So you graduated college in
95.
So that's a great time to come
yeah,
out of college.
That's right when the internet started warming up.
I come out of college in '02 right at the peak of the recession.
Okay, yeah.
So that was a great time. So then you started developing. So you developed your own network.
Yeah, I started my own social network, and at first it was just for fun, but then I started getting employers and advertisers that wanted to get in front of my community. So the community was college based. So initially I started a site for my college, but then I started the site and expanded it to a group of private universities, like 100 different colleges, and it took off. And it started, we started getting tens of thousands of people to sign up. There was no Facebook, there was no LinkedIn, so I didn't really have competitors. And advertisers wanted to get on because we were getting millions of page views every month. And started making a little bit of money. Quit my job in 2004. Started running that full time. When that started doing well, I started investing in real estate. And when the real estate started doing well, I could justify that.
So how did you? Let me just make sure this is good. So how did you come out of how did you come out of like 08, 09?
With the recession and everything, and the burst, we stayed lean and mean, man. I only had about 5 people working. Well, okay. Before that, I had about 11 people working for me.
Sure.
And then
you scaled back.
I scaled back in anticipation.
Right.
And so we stayed lean.
Is it in Columbus?
Yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, my house there's like a main road right there, and it goes right by my house.
So how do you like on your channel? Do you share like the process of whether you use leverage or not, or how to do
the real estate and everything?
Yeah.
That's
you get into that stuff. On
yeah,
the channel?
Yeah. And then so the name of the channel is Will Motivation. First it was Will Moss, my name, but then I was like, it's not really all about me, but what do I want the channel to be about, which is motivating people. And like when I first got started, I really didn't know this was achievable, but it is. If you order your steps and you take the right processes and you learn about what other people have done and that kind of good stuff. And so I wanted to share all of that with people that might not have access to somebody. Like I never broke into that day before I got money. I never was able to ask for
similar to my story. Like I never driven one. I never even been in it. And then I just bought it.
So,
I'm like, I know I want that. I think it's pretty good. I bought it.
So because this is, I always have the same question for other people that have supercars. So if you could just kind of record us, and what I want to ask you is, so now you've got a YouTube channel with over 100,000 subscribers. One of my subscribers put me on to you and said, hey, he's going to be in Columbus. You should go check him out.
It's amazing.
Yeah, he got it on LinkedIn.
The reach is insane, man.
So if you could tell us how you got into being able to get a supercar, your choice for going into Porsche. Is it Porsche or Porsche? Porsche. Yeah. Okay. So how you chose to do, to buy a Porsche. This is not your first Porsche.
Yeah, it's my
third Porsche. So just tell us the story and then how you end up getting on the YouTube.
Right. I mean, Porsche to me just fits my personality. I can't pull this off. Like I'm not as cool as you. I can already tell. I don't know.
I'm a computer nerd, man.
It just fits. Like it's hard to explain. It's like part of my DNA. Like I just grew up in northeastern PA, Poconos.
Okay.
Actually Pittsburgh, and then moved to Poconos when I was about 13.
Okay.
And my dad was a car guy. He had a 1966 GTO.
Okay.
And I'm sure he would have wanted other cars, but I'd always loved BMW.
Okay.
I wanted a 3 Series. And remember, some like rich kid came to school with a 318 Ti hatch.
Yeah.
And he had he had some 15s in the back. I thought that was the coolest freaking thing in the world. I was never going to get that, at least not anytime soon.
Right.
But I never precluded myself from being able to get whatever car I wanted. Like I just assumed that I would be rich someday.
Yeah.
Assumed that would happen. I didn't know how it was going to happen. But I knew I'd work hard, and I just assumed it would happen.
Yeah.
I never felt like I couldn't have anything. But I grew up in a single wide trailer, and so that whole rags to whatever story.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting.
But I want to
say that again, so make sure people don't miss that.
I grew up in a single wide trailer, but my parents were super hard working.
Yeah.
Like we had the nicest trailer in the trailer park. Like they took care of your stuff.
Yep.
And so that's just how I grew up. My parents were machines. Just whatever happens to dance, unfortunately, however you want to look at it. They maybe didn't reach as much as I was willing to, or it's probably because of them they set me up to be able to reach for whatever it is I thought made sense.
Yep.
So anyway, my dad was a car guy, and then I did BMW, and the natural progression of BMW is Porsche. So I got started with Hondas, right? So I got a 99 Civic Si when I was in college.
Where'd you go to college?
Villanova.
Okay.
So I was at Villanova in Philly, and I flunked the course, and the 5th year wasn't an option. So I had to take summer class.
Okay.
I got a job selling high-end home theater.
Okay.
So I went from having like $100 a semester to making like 50 grand selling TVs, car stereos.
This is while you were in college?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Wow.
So I was good at it. I was an introvert. I had like 10 friends like every other engineer. We had the core group, but you don't have time and energy for more people.
Yeah.
And so I went and I learned how to sell. I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to talk about something that was really technical and explain it to someone who really wasn't all that interested in it in an interesting way. And then that eventually applied to wealth management and managing people's money. And so I actually, the guy who eventually became my partner and mentor, he came in my store and I sold him a home theater.
This is in what city?
This would have been in Orlando after graduation.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I graduated, my buddies are going to work for Lockheed Martin and Unisys, and I'm making $100,000 selling TVs.
Sweet.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
They were going to make 40 working for Unisys.
Yeah.
I'm like, screw that. I'm going to sell cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I wanted to move to San Diego. That was a little bit of a stretch, so I packed the big screen TVs in my Civic Si and I went to Orlando. And that's when I got an S2000. And again, natural progression is to go to work for BMW. But that guy hired me at Merrill Lynch.
Okay.
I cold called. I made about 400 dials a day for probably 4.5, 5 years.
Wow. And you're an introvert.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like, it's just absolutely horrible.
That's crazy.
And so, and I've kind of worked.
But it shows your drive, though. Well, that's not easy.
Well, I didn't know any differently. I've cleaned toilets. You know, I've done manual labor. I've delivered mail. I know what hard work is. And I knew that calling sucked, and I hated it, and I was scared to do it. And I'd shake picking up the phone. But I knew that if I hit the numbers, I knew I could take a technical topic and explain it to people in a relatable way. And so if I talked to enough people, something might happen. And I graduated Merrill Lynch's training program, and then I eventually partnered with my mentor. And then I became the resident director and a senior vice president. And then that's when I got my first 911, my 911 Carrera S.
Sweet.
I become manager of the market. Thanks. So that was 2013. And then shortly after that, like maybe 2 months after I got that car, I melted down. Right? I was later diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, and go figure. Let's see what we're doing with my car in here. And eventually, what happened? I went on Renlist and started sharing the ownership experience of my Carrera S, which then I traded shortly in for a GT3, and started sharing that and had all this. So I'm this massive introvert. The reason why I melted down is I closed everybody out. I took the weight of the world on me. You know, managing this successful wealth management business and managing this section of the market for Merrill Lynch. I'm 20 years younger than anybody else doing it. And I just thought I was the man. I thought I was the king. I'm better than you. I was not as chubby as I am now. I was in great shape. I just thought I was awesome. I'm making lots of money. I got the car I always wanted. I'm married. You know, nice house. Everything's great. And I freaked out. Like I couldn't get off the couch. I couldn't eat. And then again, so I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. They put me on some happy pills. And then I for the first time was open to other people. And so that's when I started journaling my GT3.
Okay.
And my Carrera S and then GT3 on Renlist.
Okay.
Porsche 4.
Yeah. I think I've been on there.
And then I had, I got 10,000 views and then 50,000 views and then people emailing me and then kids asking me, how do I get a GT3? And then in order to support that forum post, I made a YouTube channel.
What year was that?
That was 2014.
Okay.
And let's see, what was I guess late 2014.
Okay.
And then people just started connecting with me.
Yeah.
And like I never in my wildest dreams would have imagined like I'm here and there's probably been a dozen people that have come by just to shake my hand.
Yeah.
So I went from
cool.
all on my own, massive introvert, to this selective extrovert, right? We're having a thing, I hope you come by Friday, but we're going to have like 100 people here.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow evening for 5 o'clock, or we're just going to hang out, a bunch of like-minded
people. Like a meet and greet type of thing?
I get, yeah.
Sweet,
said, hey, I'm going to be there. You guys want to come check out the car and where we're at, the progress? Nice. And so people are flying. This guy flying in from California. They're driving from DC, from all over, in the general vicinity to come hang out. Nice. But the power of the Obsessed Garage for me and other people, the really humbling part is when these guys come here, there will be guys that will make friends for life.
Yeah.
And you'll see there's just this organic connectivity of introverts that normally would be standing there in the corner like this.
That's me actually.
That you'll like immediately like spark conversation with people, whether it's the car or it's detailing or it's compute, you know, whether it's, you know, the IT or software, you'll immediately connect with people and we just get it. And so that's, you probably see some of that on your channel too. Like-minded people, you get them together and for whatever you're saying, gathering. So that's my long story.
Man, I think it's an excellent story. And congratulations, man.
And so now, now I have a retail business because of the products that I use and my obsession with them. And then my wealth management business has grown exponentially because people will see me jerking around with like polish, how obsessed I am with all the particulars of it, and there's a direct correlation to what I do, you know, what I used to call my real job.
You got me
now they're all real jobs.
Yeah, you got me interested.
So that's what's happened is that there's a lot of these obsessed people that watch the stuff. There's a few that are more obsessed than me, but I'm so particular and so obsessed with just little things that are important to me that then there's correlations. And that's what's happened with the Obsessed Garage retail store is that people were beating me up over, put links in the videos to the products I'm using.
Oh, wow.
And then I started putting links, and then I started putting links to Amazon, and then I'm like, they can't fulfill it like I can, so I want to curate this for them. Because I would send somebody 17 links to how I wash a car, and people would say, that's too much work. Now I can send them one.
Okay.
And the store's doing, I don't know, I'll probably do a couple million this year in sales in the store.
Wow.
I just started it in January.
Wow.
It's crazy, man. If you asked me, like if I knew today what I know now, and you said, go make Obsessed Garage, it would never happen.
Man, that's amazing, dude.
It's been such a fortunate, luck.
So what's the elevator pitch for my viewers that, watch my YouTube channel to know about your channel, what your channel's about?
Be prepared for 45-minute long videos. Be prepared for every detail you could ever possibly imagine. And it either fits or it doesn't. And sometimes I tend to give off a vibe like, hey, it's my way or the highway, but it's more, I'm just doing me. And if you can relate to obsession, if you can relate to being passionate, I think the biggest pitch to my channel or what I'm doing is I'm giving other people permission to be obsessed. There's this hey, it's okay to be this way. If you're passionate about something, chances are there will be other people that are just as passionate as you. If you open up like I have, and I'm the case study. If you open up, the world opens up. That's fascinating.
That's excellent, dude. Congratulations again, man.
It's good to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you, and thank you for your time. And so go check out his channel. I'll put the links in the description, and Junior P can place it into the video. But now I'd be glad to answer any questions, about the Lambo or whatever.
Yeah, what's the then make sure to we're double rolling here on video, but check out Will. It's Will Motivation, right?
Yeah, Will Motivation.
I'll put the link in the description.
Okay, thanks.
Our viewers aren't stupid. They'll find us.
Right, for sure.
So this one's going. Or are you gonna keep this?
So this one's getting traded in.
Okay.
So
you traded the dealer.
Yeah. So they're picking it up tomorrow. It's gonna get transported to get there next week, and then at the end of the month, we're actually I'm meeting my girlfriend down there, and we're going to pick up the new one. I'll do a collection video. Yeah. And then they're having a Halloween rally. So I'm going to drive it. We're going to do a little rally.
You'll have somewhere to go and right then and there.
Yeah. I'm actually going to meet up with at least one YouTuber while I'm down there. You've ever seen Drag Times? Drag Times. He's got the biggest drag.
Where's the dealer?
The dealer's in Miami.
Oh, so you're going all the way.
Yeah, I'll go down South Florida. So they're going to do a rally.
You'll have to drop by. Are you going to drive a car or are you going to trailer?
Trailer.
Okay, I was going to say, if you're driving through Orlando, you have to drop by. Wash the car.
Oh man, I appreciate it. I'll definitely stay in touch, and we can. I'll be in Orlando sooner or later. I've been down there a bunch of times.
So have you thought about have you done any research on the turbo or supercharging, or are you a modification kind of guy?
Yeah, I do. But so I had a Gallardo before this. So I'll tell you my progression.
Yeah.
So First, it was progression from your WRXs.
Okay, so you took the Subaru.
Yeah, I had WRX, and I got dusted by some Lancer Evos.
Evo 7
so I ended up getting some Evos. Did the Mustang GTs.
That's a weird transition from Japanese.
And I was totally open, right? And I'm an introvert, by the way, as well. I'm an engineer. I'm the guy you can sit in the basement and I can write code for and be on the computer. You know,
and be perfectly content. By yourself, nobody else.
Yes, yeah. So doing the YouTube, actually, a lot of people say I'm dry, you know, on my YouTube channel, but you know, I'm just
I don't know anything about that. No one ever says that to me.
So it's like, but I'm just trying to share my experience for people who might not. Like, I didn't have anybody to ask, how did you get on Lamborghini? I didn't have anybody to ask, you know, how did you start a successful business? How did you become? Okay, there were some people that I could ask, how did you go to college and get a career? But never to go and invest in real estate and that kind of stuff. So I'm sharing on my channel everything that as a kid or a young adult I would have wanted to know for somebody who had this phone.
Yeah, that's I think that's the general philosophy, right? Just create things that you would want to watch if you didn't know what you knew. Right?
So,
and then that could be helpful to others. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
And I see that in your channel as well, man. Like I saw your video where you were talking about vlogging, and people might not, it might take you as being, I forgot the word that you used, but to me, like your video came off perfectly.
And that's right. I think that, and that's what, you know, people that get it, and it's hard. I mean, I don't know about you, but it messes me up when people just don't get it. Like as much as tough as, you know, I'm guessing you probably come across and I come across, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna fake it. Right.
Exactly.
If you fake it, then people will see through that, and they just won't.
I was going through the same thing in my mind when people were saying I was dry, because I did a collaboration with a guy, Tall Guy Car Reviews. He's got 140-something thousand.
Oh yeah, I've seen him. He's dry too, but he's got that dry humor.
Yeah, but he's super animated, and people, they like him, and I like him too. But that's not my personality. You know, I'm an engineer. I'm a guy. I'm kind of quiet. When I'm around some friends, I get a little bit animated, but most of the time I'm kind of serious, and I'm kind of explaining things the way I explain things. But like you said, I'm being true to who I am, and I'm just sharing my experiences.
So how does the channel start? Why does the channel start?
For me, it was just to share access to the knowledge that I had to learn on my own, so that other people don't have to.
So does it start before or after Gallardo?
So when I got the Gallardo, I had a channel and I would do little stuff like when I would mod my Mustangs back in the day, and actually some of those got some hits. But I wasn't into it or committed to doing
it's kind of like me. I had like 2 videos of my M3 doing exhaust flyby videos. Yeah. So I think my channel has started in 2009 or 8 or something.
Same thing for me.
But I didn't actually do anything with it. It was I made 2 videos to put on M3 posts, and that's about it.
Exactly. And so I didn't start. I had one video that got 850,000 views where I talked about the monthly payment on my Gallardo. Well, but I'm still at like 35,000 subscribers, but it was just a year ago that I did the video. But when I did that, and the feedback that I got motivated me to keep doing the videos and trying to share the progression. So like I said, I went from Mustangs to Corvettes, then from the Corvette M4. Like I got a 2015 M4.
What was your experience with them? Because I had an M3, F80.
I love them. I had a 335, twin turbo 335 Ci.
Yeah, see, I'm an M3 fanboy, and I had an E92, the previous gen M3, and the current. I had it for 2 years, and I just can't handle the sound.
You got an M3 or M4?
M3. Okay. Same car, same motor, same everything, just 2.4 instead of 2-door. Yeah. But the farting, I can't.
The sound wasn't. Yeah, I agree. The sound wasn't. I want to say my 335 might have sounded better.
See, I had 13 different exhausts on my previous GT3.
Are you serious?
To find the right exhaust. I was working with companies to try to create, and find the exhaust. Oh, he's out of frame. To try to find the right exhaust.
made some videos of the experience.
Yeah, super boring. But if you had a GT3, you were watching with watching me do all the work to figure out which is the right one.
I'm kind of like that as well. Like I've switched on my Mustang. I switched my exhaust 3 times, and I did a video each time, and people like that. But yeah, so I went from GTR from the
Mustang,
Corvette
to
the GTR to M4 GTR, and then I got the Gallardo. I really like the Gallardo, but with it being an 06, I was afraid that if something went wrong, I didn't want to pay 40 grand for anything. Related to transmission. So then I got this, and this had a warranty on it, and so now I'm going to what I really wanted, and the price has come down to where it's only a $10,000 difference between this one and the one I really want. So
is it a Spider or still a hard top?
It's a hard top.
Hard top, all-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive. It's the color I wanted.
610.
610. Yep. Color I wanted. It's got the all-wheel drive. It's got the carbon ceramic brakes. It's got a lift system. This doesn't have a lift system on it. So when I bought this car, I assumed, and the biggest thing about it was the bumper is different. It gives a totally different look. And I assumed I could just swap the bumper out, but it's not that simple. They told me that, So I was like, let me just get what I wanted in the first place and be done with it.
So how does that work? See, I don't have a supercar desire. Like I don't have a Ferrari, Lamborghini desire. I only want to
argue that's a supercar right there.
I don't know. It's less exotic, less more produced.
So what's the performance like on that compared to like the Turbo S?
So your Turbo S would be 560 horsepower, 500 pounds of torque. So and then you tune them, and they have a lot more torque. Whereas the RS is like 550 horsepower, 335 horsepower. So you're 200 plus foot-pounds of torque difference.
Is it turbo?
No, it's naturally aspirated, flat 6, 4-liter flat 6.
Okay.
Or those would be twin turbo flat 6. So that's a 3.8-liter twin turbo flat 6. The biggest difference is emotion, sound. So if you look at the power and torque curve of a GT3, or the power curve, it looks like this. Whereas the turbo looks like that.
Okay.
So actually it looks like that. It's going to be significantly higher. But so I'm a linear horsepower, naturally aspirated kind of guy. It's just my style. That's how these build power. They build linear power. Whereas a turbo, they'll without a tune, they'll fall a little bit flat toward red line, and they sound different. They don't sound as good. So that car sounds better than not these, but the Turbo S. Okay. Anyway, bro, it's good to meet you. Thanks for spending the time. I know I'm sure you don't do videos like this. We're just staying here talking, but I thought it was cool. I was in town. You sent me an email. Hey, let's chat. I'm always interested in this stuff.
Appreciate it, man. Likewise.
Sure.
Hey, congratulations, man.
Thanks, man.
I'm looking forward to watching the video.
What happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the